It's swing, sing and all that jazz. And here to give you the downbeat is Henry Holloway.
Thank you again, Marilyn, and hello again, dear listeners. I've never opened the program with a medley, so here's my chance to break with tradition. In 1956, attorney David McKay and Mrs. Helen Miller re-established the new Glenn Miller Orchestra, as it was titled, under the leadership of drummer Ray McKinley, an old friend of the late Glenn. Mr. McKinley soon forged the band into such good shape that they could make their first commercial recordings in May 1957 for RCA Victor. On this medley, recorded on January 7th, 1958 in New York City, Ray McKinley does the introductions.
Medley time now, something old, something new, something borrowed, and something blue. In the old tune, Stairway to the Stars. Our new tune, Naughty But Nice.
You're naughty but nice, and I don't know which is stronger, the fire or the ice. Hard to tell which lasts the longer. Don't bother to answer, just stay as you are. Love feeds on a question mark as well as on stardust. You thrill me and then put me down like I'm a stranger. I never know when. It's a dare, but there's a danger that you maybe change your style when I want you to be just you. Naughty but nice. So naughty but nice, just be naughty but nice to me.
From Charlie Spivak, we borrow his theme song, Star Dreams. Last our blue tune, Blue Evening.
They don't come much better than that. That new Glenn Miller Orchestra, under the direction of Ray McKinley, is, in my opinion, probably the best of the 10 or so official post-war Glenn Miller orchestras, which have seen the light of day to this very moment. Now, here's something very historic. On the 9th of May 1940, Benny Goodman recorded Who Cares with Fred Astaire in Los Angeles. And years later, during an interview, Benny was asked to choose one of his recordings to play for the listeners. Please pay attention.
Is there anything you'd like to hear, Benny?
Well, now, that's interesting. Take my word in favor of the world, just like taking from Who Cares. Well, there's one that Fred Astaire sings on.
Who Cares?
I think so, isn't it? Yeah.
I'll go out and see if I
Who
can
cares?
find it.
Yeah, Fred Astaire. Yeah.
Fred Astaire singing with your orchestra.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yes,
Oh.
yeah.
He wasn't dancing, he was singing, huh?
Yeah, it's just singing, yes. That would be fun to have.
All right, who cares?
If the sky cares to fall in the sea, who cares what banks sail in yonder? Long as you got a kiss that conquers, why should I care? Life is one long jubilee, so long as I care for you, and you care for me.
Did you work much with Fred Astaire?
No.
You worked a little with everybody.
Yes. I just thought it'd be nice if he sang on a couple of records, which he did. We thought maybe he could do a tap dance, but I guess we cut that out.
How about that? Fred and Benny together on May the 9th, 1940. They allowed Fred Astaire only one chorus, but the greatest dancer of them all made his point as a vocalist. Very rare Goodman material there from my archives. And while we're dealing with the King of Swing, let's listen to a septet recording made by Benny and Six Associates. They play a Benny Goodman original, first titled Moppin' It Up, but then changed to A Smooth One. Yes, it actually has 4 O's in the word smooth. Splendid solo work by Mr. Goodman, naturally, but the guitarist and pianist must remain an either-or mystery, and the vibraphone player a complete mystery, as must the date of this recording. Not to worry, let's just enjoy A Smooth One. According to Russ Connor, Benny Goodman's biographer stroke discographer, BG Studio recorded A Smooth One 4 times over the years, but none of those details tie in perfectly with what you've just heard. I wonder if Mr. Connor, whom I visited at his home in Levittown, Pennsylvania in 1982, is able to solve my query. 2 weeks ago I played you a track from Jan Eberle's marvelous new CD, Blue Champagne. If you put the name Eberle with the song title Blue Champagne, you should deduce that Jan Eberle must be the daughter of Ray Eberle, who was Glenn Miller's star vocalist in his civilian band. I think that those good Ray vocal genes pass through to Jan. Listen and decide for yourself.
Just you, just me. Let's find a cozy spot to cuddle and coo. Just us, just we. I have missed an awful lot. My trouble is you. Oh, gee, what are your charms for? What are my arms for? Use your imagination. Just you, just me. I'll tie a lover's knot, crown wonder for you. Just you, just me. Let's find a cozy spot to cuddle and coo. Just us, just we. I have missed an awful lot. My trouble is you. Oh, gee, what are your charms for? What are my arms for? Use your imagination. Just you, just me. We've missed an awful lot. Let's find a cozy spot where I can tie a lover's knot around marvelous, wonderful you.
Just you, just me. Jan Eberle at Morrisound Studio in Tampa, Florida. And would you believe that Jan conducted that stunning 16-piece orchestra, apart from singing that song in person? Local content time now, and we begin with an album titled Alan Gordon Remembers the Cape Town Bop Club. Alan Gordon has been one of South Africa's most respected trumpeters for many years. In 1999, Alan recorded the tracks for the above-mentioned album. Let's play It Had to Be You from it. Apart from Alan's outstanding trumpet work, the other instrumentalists must remain anonymous. Alan Gordon and friends playing the Isham Jones evergreen It Had to Be You in 1999 in Cape Town. Derek Mills, from Derek's CD titled Derek Mills Sings Sinatra, here's the famous My Way.
And now the end is near, and so I face the final curtain. My friends, I'll say it clear, I'll state my case, of which I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full, I've traveled each and every highway, and more, much more than this, I did it my way. Regrets, I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention. I did what I had to do, and saw it through without exemption. I've lived a life that's full, I've traveled each and every highway, and more, much more than this, I did it my way. Yes, there were times, I'm sure you knew, when I bit off more than I could chew. But through it all, when there was doubt, I ate it up and spat it out. I faced it all, and I stood tall, and did it my way. I've laughed and cried. I've had my fill, my share of losing. And now, as my tears subside, I find it all so amusing to think I did all that, and may I say, not in a shy way, oh no, not me, I did it my way. For what is a man, what has he got, if not himself, then he has not to say the things he truly feels, and not the words of one who kneels. The record shows I took the blows and did it my Oh no, not me, I did it my way.
Derek Mills doing it his way on his tribute album to Old Blue Eyes. Let's listen to the Noel Stockton Trio, 1960 vintage. Noel's at the piano, Harry Tallis is on bass, and Gene Lattimore is huddled behind his drum kit. Yes, indeed, Cy Oliver's composition, played by the Noel Stockton Trio on a Sunday club night at the Baltabaran in Johannesburg in 1960. I had a surprise visit from Eric Kieswetter's son Glenn and his music associate Suzelle Extian. Suzelle is the pianist, while Glenn plays drums and sings. They cut a CD at the Cafe Gannett, and here's the opener.
Blue moon, you saw me standing alone, without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own. Blue moon, you knew just what I was there for. You heard me saying a prayer for someone I really could care for. And then there suddenly appeared before me the only one my arms would ever hold. I heard somebody whisper, please adore me. And when I looked, the moon had turned to gold. Blue moon, now I'm no longer alone, without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own. I heard somebody whisper, please adore me. And when I looked, the moon had turned to gold. Blue moon, now I'm no longer alone, without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own, without a love of my own. I said a love of my own, without a love of my own, without a love of my own.
Glenn Kieswetter's no Frank Sinatra, but he sings in tune, and his brushwork is spot on. Suzelle Extian is obviously a well-trained pianist. Rollo Scott and his big band are now ready to prove to us that it can happen to you. It Could Happen to You was composed by Jimmy Van Heusen in 1944, and that recording by Rollo Scott and his big band must have been made sometime in the 1960s. Amanda Tiffin is a talented singer, pianist, composer, lyricist, and arranger of the new school. On her debut album made in 2005, she is involved as composer and/or lyricist in 10 of the 12 songs on the CD. Here Amanda sings Here Comes the Sun, which is not one of her own creations.
Little darling, it's been a long, cold, lonely winter. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. Little darling, the smiles returning to their faces. Little darling, it feels like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. Darling, it seems like ice is slowly melting. Little darling, it feels like years since it's been clear. Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. Sun, 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 here it comes. Sun, 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 here it comes. Sun, sun, here it comes. Sun, 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 here it comes.
George Harrison composed that song in 1969, and Amanda Tiffin gave it her treatment in 2005. We return to the international scene for our final few offerings. Firstly, Jimmy Dorsey, his alto sax and his orchestra, playing his composition Contrasts, which Jimmy of course used as his theme for his band. Jimmy Dorsey had composed it in 1932 as Oodles of Noodles, and later adapted it as Contrasts. Jimmy Dorsey and his orchestra with his theme Contrasts. I have no idea which of the many versions that recording is. Benny Goodman fans must be in their element today because we close the program with 3 BG waxings. On June 18th, 1945, the Goodman Band recorded 4 numbers in New York City. Dottie Reed sang on all of them.
I'm gonna show that guy he's the fella that I adore. When he's in my arms again, my dreams will all come true, and the years between might never have been. We'll start our lives anew. I'm gonna kiss that guy like he's never been kissed before. And though I miss that guy, he's the fella I'm waiting for. We'll never part again, he'll hold my heart again, forever and evermore. I'm gonna love that guy like he's never been loved before.
I'm Gonna Love That Guy, Dottie Reed with Benny Goodman and his orchestra. Less than 4 months earlier, on the 25th of February 1945, Jane Harvey was at the vocal mic in Columbia's New York City studio for Benny to record this beautiful Sigmund Romberg, Dorothy Fields song.
We'll be close as pages in a book, my love and I. So close we can share a single look, share every sigh. So close that before I hear your laugh, my love breaks through. And when a tear starts to appear, my eyes grow misty too. Our dreams won't go tumbling to the ground. We'll hold them fast, darling.
is bound. We're bound to last. Your life is my life, and while life beats away in my heart, we'll be close as pages in a book, never to pages in a book, never to
Lovely. Close as pages in a book. Jane Harvey with Benny Goodman. I think the super trombone solo there was by Trummy Young. For our finale, we're going to rattle and roll with the King of Swing. The date, December 19th, 1945. The arranger, Buck Clayton, and the soloists, too many to mention, except that the drummer was Buddy Rich. No time for our closing theme, just enough for a quick goodbye.
Swing, Sing and All That Jazz was compiled and presented by Henry Holloway. Henry Holloway's autobiography, titled Swing, Sing and All That Jazz, is due to be published in America by Trafford Publishers and will be available on Amazon.com and at Barnes & Noble bookstores. It tells the story of a unique South African who rose from humble beginnings to become one of only 2 non-Americans in history who has been honoured with America's prestigious Golden Bandstand Award, joining Frank Sinatra, Glenn Miller, Benny Goodman, and 50 other American music legends. This 700-page book tells Henry Holloway's remarkable story and contains more than 500 images of photographs, articles, and letters. Contact Trafford Publishers in Bloomington, Indiana.